Jimmy Spencer, Mr. Excitement, the #1 hated driver on your list if you are a Kurt Busch fan back in the day. Jimmy Spencer is one of the most hot-headed, thrilling, and most polarizing drivers in NASCAR. Jimmy Spencer was also a two-time NASCAR Modified Series champion in 1986 through 1987 and has gotten 12 wins in NASCAR Busch Series, 2 Cup wins, and a truck win. However, NASCAR fans remember Jimmy Spencer whether it is his antics on track and his time on NASCAR Race Hub. However, his NASCAR career is most famous for his rivalry with a young Kurt Busch from Nevada. Their antics always take place on track and even off track. The rivalry first started at Phoenix in 2001 when Jimmy Spencer took out Kurt Busch, but they went at it again at the 2002 Bristol Spring race when Kurt Busch did a bump and run on Jimmy Spencer to get his first career Cup win, which is one of the most Bristol moments ever. However, Jimmy Spencer's 2002 Bristol Spring Weekend in general was bizarre. Yes, the Cup one is iconic, but nobody talks about Jimmy Spencer's race the day before. So in this episode, we are going to be talking about Jimmy Spencer's bizarre weekend at the 2002 Bristol Spring Busch and Cup race. The 2002 Channellock 250 at Bristol Motor Speedway was the 5th race of the 34-race NASCAR Busch Series season. Jimmy Spencer was one of the Cup drivers who were leeching this weekend. He started in 4th. Most notably, Kevin Harvick as well for obvious reasons, but let's get back to the topic, shall we? For the first nearly 40 laps of the race, Jimmy Spencer moved up from 4th to 3rd. On lap 42, Jimmy Spencer attempted to make a move on Scott Riggs for 2nd, but the caution came out for the 3rd time of the race due to Casey Kane spinning in turn 2 after going under the 16 of Chad Chaffin. On lap 56, Jimmy Spencer would finally pass Scott Riggs for 2nd thanks to Casey Kane being in Scott Riggs' way. Jimmy Spencer would lead 7 laps of the race between lap 75 through lap 81. On lap 132, the number 77 of Andy Kirby hit the wall in turn 2. While the field was racing back to line for the caution, Jimmy Spencer hit the wall in turn 4. Luckily, Spencer would keep going and continue to race, restarting at the back of the pack. Throughout the race, Jimmy avoided a lot of trouble since it was a caution fest. But when it was 5 laps to go, the last restart took place. But when it was 2 to go, all hell broke loose, and Jimmy Spencer tried to catch up with a fast Jeff Green. Jimmy did whatever it took to get around Jeff Green. Anything!
Time to go, Darrell. 2 laps to go.
And I don't think they're going to get any lap traffic, so this speed should be clean laps.
This is when you drive just like you're qualifying. You give it all you got. Here we go.
Wreck-it, turn 2. The 38 goes around.
Mark Green.
Now,
bam. Whoa, white flag.
White flag. They got to run to the checker. This is it. The white's out. Here they come. Spencer underneath Jeff Green. It's a drag race.
All kinds of lap traffic back there.
Here comes the 18 car up on the outside. Spencer's going to come back down.
On the apron.
Oh, he shouldn't have done that.
No, he gave up 2 or 3 positions and turned Jack Sprague hard into the inside wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Jeff Green wins it. And on the last lap, we set a record for the number of cautions.
I tell you what we got to worry about. That 14 car hit Mark Green right in the driver's door.
While Team Harvick and Team Biffle were going at it post-race, while Jeff Green was celebrating his 15th career NASCAR Busch Series win at the Bristol Derby, Jack Sprague was not happy with Jimmy Spencer after Spencer took out Sprague coming to the line. Even though Jimmy Spencer was desperate to get the win in his way, it wasn't worth it, because Jimmy Spencer would lose 2 positions and finish 4th place after dealing with a slow Jack Sprague. Despite a crazy 4th place finish, Jimmy Spencer gave his take on the race and the finish.
Next tip, we caught up with Jimmy Spencer. Jimmy, tell us about the last laps here.
Oh, man. Can you believe the race? I mean, that's what people come to Bristol for. That's what Fox is doing here. We just had a really good car, and we needed long runs. Lap cars are terrible today. I mean, absolutely pitiful. And that cost us a race. But, you know, Jeff Green had a really good race car. And on the restart there, I knew that I was in trouble because my car was too tight on restarts. And, you know, right there, heck, I ended up losing 3rd to all the way back to 4th, you know, because there was an accident. I got down there low and then tried to get by a couple lap cars there. Everybody slowed down. They forgot about racing back and cost me two more positions. But, yeah, I don't care where I finish if you don't win. Don't give a damn. It's a shame to say that, but we had a really good car. But I love this racetrack, and I was close, but I was only close enough to get probably 2nd, and I ended up 4th, but not paying attention probably.
Good luck tomorrow, Jimmy. Let's go back upstairs.
After a crazy derby conflictual of a fight like a normal coliseum, It was on to Sunday for Mr. Excitement's Bristol journey. The 2002 Food City 500 was the 6th race of the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season. Just like the Busch Series, Jimmy Spencer would once again start in 4th place. However, Jimmy Spencer was on a roll. Jimmy Spencer would pass Jeff Gordon on lap 32 and led for 30 laps. After 61 completed laps, Jeff Gordon would move Jimmy Spencer out of the lead to take the lead back. Nearly 80 laps later, Jimmy Spencer would get the lead back on lap 139. Jimmy Spencer would lose the lead again after a slow stop under yellow. After Jeff Gordon crashed, it would lose the lead. It would take a long time for Jimmy Spencer to get the lead back. After Steve Park and Stacy Compton crashed on lap 409, Jimmy Spencer would pass Robbie Gordon after the restart and would chase after young and sophomore Kurt Busch. He hasn't won a Cup race since the Daytona 400 back in 1994, and he was hungry for another Cup win. After coming back from commercial, Jimmy Spencer finally caught Kurt Busch.
We got a change for the lead right here. Jimmy Spencer. He's down the bottom of the racetrack right here. They got Hermie Sadler out there in the 02 car. The lead breaking, getting in the corner right here, Darrell. Right around the bottom.
Got to let him go. Got to fall in behind him. Try to pass him back down here somewhere.
Clear.
Come back under him sometime, but just let him go right now.
Whoa, he hit him.
Go.
Busch got under him and muscled Jimmy Spencer. You don't see that often.
Spence is hanging on for dear life.
Get it up. You're right. Outside.
Big save by Spencer.
Message received.
Outside. Still out there.
He's still wiggling the car back and forth, Darrell. He got down on the apron, picked up all that trash on those hot tires.
He's just hoping he didn't cut a tire down in that contact.
Now, Sterling Marlin probably could have passed Spencer right there, but they are teammates, and Marlin's a lap down. Here it is again.
Like I said, get back up under him, man. There he goes.
Many guys will save a car like that.
Ooh.
A bumper for a bumper.
And not many guys would go up against Jimmy Spencer like that. You just think you let Spence go.
The young hotshot in the number 97 had the cojones to rough up Mr. Excitement and took back the lead, short track, old school Bristol racing fashion. After Hermie Sadler's crash, which will be the last yellow of the race, and no matter what Jimmy Spencer did, after getting roughed up by the leading Kurt Busch, Jimmy Spencer will have to settle for second and witness his rival Kurt Busch get his first career win at Bristol. Despite a calm and positive interview, he had some choice words about a certain someone about racing for the lead.
Well, Jimmy Spencer finished second. He hasn't smiled since he got here. What happened between you and the winner, Kurt Busch?
Oh, he just smashed into the back bumper of my target car, but it had a big bullseye back there, and I guess he couldn't see too good, and he ends up winning the race that way. But I'll tell you, Team Target just ran really well today, and you know, I just think that it's pretty neat to come out of here with a top 5 finish. I felt like we should have had that last week also. The team is really, really strong, you know, and we'll get wins. There's no question in my mind we will, and the guys have done just an absolutely excellent job making calls on these cars, adjusting them, and we're getting better every week.
Second time you finish here in second position at Bristol, Tennessee. Jimmy, everybody thinks you're going to win. What do you think?
Oh, I know it. I think I'm going to win this year, and I'm going to win more than once, Dick. You know, I really truly believe that. But you can't race. There's a lot of things you can and can't do, and one thing you can't do is just beat and bang with people and knock them up out of the way, especially racing for the lead. And you know, I notice a lot of guys don't do that, and they're the Winston Cup champions, like myself and Gordon did earlier in the race. And I really admire him, the way he raced me, and I raced him. And some guys have to learn. They just have to learn the hard way.
Okay, thanks, Jimmy. Mike?
You know the saying, Jimmy Spencer never forgets? Well, Jimmy Spencer would rather forget about the way he lost 2 Bristol races in one weekend. However, he would never forget about Kurt Busch after the 2002 Bristol Cup race, that's for sure. After losing both 2002 spring races at Bristol, Jimmy Spencer would redeem and would win the 2002 Food City 250 after leading 132 laps and would finish 8th at the 2002 Sharpie 500. So that's going to do it for another episode of Racing Stories. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this episode. This is the Impress 2000 signing off. Goodbye, everybody.